He is the kind of person who brings a smile to their friends' faces, who makes others feel warm with their mere presence. People like him are the ones who've been given the power to save souls of the others. A hope sparks in me that having Senpai around would keep more tragedies from happening. How ironic, considering that it turns out to be the opposite. Another mistake. Another failure. Once again, I've stirred a pebble which, having fallen off the top of the mountain, generates a whole avalanche of misfortunes. My new friend Fuyumi has a crush on Senpai, and I genuinely think her feelings are mutual. But Senpai rejects her. Fuyumi's heart shatters. So much for bringing a good mood to people. Senpai, what a player. All senpais are the same. I feel scared and guilty, so I support the idea of a love spell. The ritual works. Who would have thought? The dead lover has really come. He exists. A ghost, a spirit, whatever. Can he bring a message to Sora? I don't dare to ask. But I accept his existence without hesitation, for it appears that Sora's spirit might one day visit me in the world of the living as well. Looks like the lover has figured out my lie about being in love. He seems to be the only one in the whole world who understands how I really feel. He realizes that I'm completing the trials not out of love for the boy from the photo, but... Okay, Mitsuki. Sorry, my dog. Mitsuki. Mitsuki, come over here. Come over here. So technically, it's not my dog, it's my parents' dog. Because they're visiting for a bit. And, the dog is not a apartment dog. So she barks at everything. Okay. And, I mean, you can't have that in an apartment, so... Why? Out of responsibility for Fuyumi? Out of guilt? The lover doesn't punish me. Instead, he shows me pictures of the future. A horrible future. I see myself making one mistake after another. Again and again, over and over. Mistakes. Mistakes, mistakes. Mistakes. For some reason, I'm always choosing the wrong way. Why? Why do I always make mistakes? Why does every good thing I try to accomplish ends in tragedy? Always. Forever. I'm hoping he is just testing my strength, and I realize I don't want to deal with this anymore. Better not to mess with that kind of magic. You can't force someone to love. It can only end in tragedy. But Fuyumi is determined to go all the way. I had to realize from the beginning that her pure soul can't distinguish between good and evil. Her pure soul! Where did that naive and kind girl disappear to? Why has she turned into a calculating, cunning, and evil creature? She made it through the dead lover's trials, but she is consumed by an inner evil. Is it an inner evil, or does society just want to punish a poor girl who just wants to love dead ghosts? Anyway, Fuyumi has achieved her goal. Soon I find out that she and Senpai are dating. The lover held up his end of the bargain. Everything in the Magician's Club is the same, but it seems like Senpai has changed a bit. I dread to think how much of the dead lover's dark magic has affected him. I'm afraid to think about it. Fuyumi doesn't talk to me anymore. She seems to shut me out on purpose. One day she says, "Stop following me. Senpai is mine." Again. Once again, I've ruined someone's life. If only I hadn't pushed her to confess to Senpai. If only I hadn't agreed to the love spell. If only I'd been more persistent. I go on with my life, trying not to make the same stupid mistakes. I want my life to have a meaning. Haru is the first truly strong person I've met in my life. She isn't doing so well at school, but no one has a heart as brave and fair as hers. I know I can easily rely on her, so I unwittingly turn into the perfect friend myself. I play the role of the perfect me, cheerful, kind, and always smiling. I believe that this time everything would be okay, that I wouldn't make another mess. Everything was great until that incident with the summoning of the dead. Naturally, I don't refuse Haru's request. How else? She's counting on me. Besides, deep inside I have hope. My previous acquaintances couldn't bear the weight of my mistakes and broke down. Maybe Haru can manage? And then having overcome the ordeal of conscription, she'd accept a friend with her own terrible curse? ? With all my evil. Once again, my mistake ruins everything. I can't experience the same thing Haru did. My ritual doesn't work. I don't meet anyone in this old school building. More so, I lose count. I never thought I'd fall so far. I've become too dependent on Haru's opinion, and the guilt is driving me crazy. It's gnawing at my soul, daily, all the time. In desperation, I steal my dad's sedative. The pills partially help. The guilt seems to dull. The world seems stable and calm, as if frozen in time. At last, there is peace in my soul. And then the strange calls begin. The more frequent they become, the more pills I have to take. So we know that this is Haru's brother doing this. At some point, I stop understanding what's hallucination and what's reality. The images of the world around me turn into a vague nightmare. Am I dreaming, or is everything happening in reality? I don't understand. And Haru offers to do the ritual again. Again? Why? I'm having a hard time figuring out what she wants from me. Before I go to the old building, I take a lot of pills, a whole lot. To not lose count this time, my dumbfounded mind, seemingly belonging to someone else, is thinking. During the ritual, the nightmares begins. I see shadows everywhere. My nose is tickled by an eerie, cloying scent. Why am I running somewhere? What am I so afraid of? Have I lost my mind? It's unclear how everything ends. I wake up at the doorstep of my house. I feel bad, very bad. Dad finds me here. He's horrified. I end up in a hospital where I spend some time. All I do there is ponder. No matter whom I try to get close to, all my what's best end up in a failure. Apparently, I just don't know how to do anything right. Even inaction ends in a tragedy. I'm discharged after a while, but I can't say I'm alright. Soon a rumor reaches me that Haru's older brother had died due to an accident. He slipped on the paint when he was trying to play a prank on someone. Again. I'm responsible for his death. I'm responsible for his death. Oops, for everything, there we go. It becomes the last straw. Something clicks inside my head. I'm going to break this vicious cycle. Haru, you are the last one I've broken. This time, the last. It's the only way you'll rid of the world of your evil, the pills whisper. Yes, of evil. Only an evil being could attract so many mystical, creepy situations. The dead lover, ghosts of the old school. I'm the one who attracted all of them. It's time to fix everything. Hurry, hurry, the pills whisper. Don't worry, very soon. Soon I will disappear from this world. I make it to the station, remembering to take my modest belongings with me. I don't want to leave behind even a single trace of my useless existence. A thunderstorm has started, but I don't feel cold. I'm wearing a dress, white, summery, just the way Sora liked it. Her love gives enough warmth. Soon I reach the outskirts of the town. I follow familiar roads along the fateful path. Here's the tree, the very same tree where I could turn back. The place where I've made my biggest mistake. But I go on, to the clearing where impossible magic flowers grow. I pluck one. A sharp thorn scratches my bare hand. A cloying scent fills my nose. Now it's soothing. And of course is a flower that grants wishes. And I just have one wish, only one. I walk back to the fateful tree and sink down on the shriveled tall fall grass, clutching the flower to my chest. I will break the curse. And never again hurt anyone. What did you see? I saw everything. Mitsuki indeed attracted otherworldly powers, but absolutely not how I thought. There is no curse, only a sequence of stupid, childish mistakes. Tragic coincidences, but not the curse. Mitsuki was unlucky to see Natsumi shoplifting. She was unlucky to help Fuyumi, who could become a good friend but chose a selfish dream over friendship. For a second, I got Natsumi and Fuyumi confused and I was about to crash out. She was unlucky to lose count, unlucky to tell Haru about it, unlucky to be born in a family without love. She didn't consider herself a victim of the curse. Mitsuki believed that she herself is a horrible curse tormenting people around her. We are all cursed. Everyone who was around me. Everyone whose life I've ruined. She always knew how to get rescued from the curse. All it takes is just ridding the world of the girl named Mitsuki. As much as I want to be strong, I can't hold back incoming tears. All of this is just so sad and unfair. so unjust. Because of a banal bad luck, because of a childish inexperience. One mistake is easy to endure, but what if they never end? Why, after several failed acquaintances, hadn't Mitsuki run into someone capable of breaking the cycle of bad luck? How can you believe in a bright future if you're not allowed even a brief respite? What did you see? I saw everything. Tomo listens to Mitsuki's life story in silence. Her eyes grow wider and wider, and towards the end of the story, she sways and only stays on her feet by a miracle. It's so sad. Unbearably sad. Mitsuki didn't deserve to die like this. Poor. I don't think Mitsuki would have wanted to be pitied. Yeah, Tomo. I think what she needed was not pity. Not pity, but someone capable of supporting her. Not girl buddies, ignorant and childishly cruel. Well, fucked girl buddies. Not them, someone mature, someone wise, someone who could explain and teach. She wanted woman buddies. You're right. Mitsuki suffered not because she met the wrong people, she was unlucky not to meet the right ones. Tomo turns to the table. The pitch black box has become snowy clean. Inside are white like feathers petals. Anacorus hisses angrily and presses itself against the walls, away from the gentle glow. Tomo scoops up a handful of the petals. They're so thin they seem glassy. I hope Mitsuki doesn't suffer now. Yeah. Anyway, she's opened up to us and answered the question. I blink in bewilderment. Huh? When? My friend smiles sadly, tossing the petals into the air. You wanted to know what curse tormented Mitsuki and how to get rid of it. Didn't you hear the answer? Yes, I did. There is no curse. You can't break something that doesn't exist. Misfortunes are just a sequence of accidents. A cold, a accident. A burned out bulb, accident. Even if it isn't like this, I don't want to give up like Mitsuki. I no longer want to sleep. Yes, Mitsuki wanted what's best and her actions ended in tragedy. But her urge doesn't look bad to me. Maybe wrong in some way, but not bad. Not bad enough to die for. I don't like her answer. Such a decision is definitely wrong. It won't lead to getting rid of the curse. Aki, look. The way forward is clear. The mesh has vanished. Looks like we're being released. I don't know what has happened, but deep inside I'm glad I won't have to get rid of the obstacle myself. Shall we? Yeah, it's about time. We have one last, the most important thing to do. Tomo pulls the doorknob. The door opens ajar. Without a creak, with ease, generously inviting us to enter. Let's go. We step inside. And by stepping inside, we mean outside. My feet step on something soft. The wind rustles in my ears. Anacorus bows its pale green heads in contentment. Tomo tightens her grip on my hand, but I no longer feel warmth from it. Why are we here? Darkness gawks at us from beyond the vaults of the cave. There are withered stalks of grass and a few triangular signs warning of danger on the rusty fence. This is where I had experienced the most nightmarish memories of my life. Mitsuki and her little sister came here. Oh. I don't like that Tomo was silent. I turned to her, hoping to see a precious smile. Tomo? Everything alright, Tomo? We haven't finished the ritual. Tomo's voice sounds muffled and stern. What do you mean? What else needs to be done? Fulfilling the wish of the dead. But what does Mitsuki want? She had already done what she wanted, saved the world from herself. We haven't found any clues in the room. I know her innermost wish. I heard her making it. When? Tomo, what's going on? Go. Where? I don't understand. Go. Tomo, you're scaring me. Answers lie beyond it. Beyond what? She points at the mesh fence. This fence again. No, anywhere but there. It's very bad there. Tomo, trust me. Go. But go. For years, this place epitomized the embodiments of nightmare for me. There, beyond the mesh fence, everything began and everything ended. This is where I dreaded going back to more than anything. But I'm left with no choice. The curse has gotten to Tomo. It chases me, haunts me, torments me, constantly drives me to the clearing with the Anacorus. All for the moments when I cut through the mesh fence again. Fine, I'm strong, I can do it. Is it strength to hide pain and fear behind a smile? Is it strength to lie to yourself? Is it strength to make yourself do something? Strength is something completely different. With its help, you can do things you never dared to before. What had I never dared to do? When? I always did what I thought was right, neat, and proper. I was chickening out. No good deed goes unpunished. Is this the wall I have to overcome, Tomo? Then I will understand what is strength, right? When should I have acted instead of being cautious? Okay. So I can't do this. Let me save here real quick. Remember. Wait, what? There's question marks. Okay, that's enough. Okay, so there's 3 question marks here. So I'm guessing I have to go back and remember about what happened for each of these. Aki meets Mitsuki at the train station, after which he returns home. We are all cursed. The curse devours us from the inside. Does no one see it? Does no one feel it? Does no one understand? It won't let go until... The world throws off its sleepy haze and slashes at my eyes with a flash of lightning. My ears are filled with the heavy measured clatter of droplets against the roof. There's a damp, somewhat earthly smell to the air, a mixture of withered grass and soil, and a cloying scent fuses with it. This aroma. Lilies? Manila? Ice? Cursed? A quite lifeless half-whisper sends chills running down my spine. I flinch and turn around. Back to where it all began. The girl stands under the awning of the railroad station, hiding from the rain and not looking at it. Her gaze is empty. Her fingers draw messy, sweeping patterns through the air. A gust of wind makes the hem of her white summer dress flutter up and slap against her equally white legs. I blink, dumbfounded. A summer dress? In this weather? In this economy? Moreover, her feet are bare. Did something happen to her? Mitsuki. Yes, that's her name, Mitsuki. What are you We are all cursed. She turns towards me, but her eyes remain blank, slit staring into the void. Mitsuki, my classmate, my friend? I don't know. I don't know much about anything at all, but I'm certain of one thing. Mitsuki looks scary. Where did I go wrong? How can I undo all this evil? Another flash of lightning distorts her beautiful face beyond recognition. Everything around me, nothing but misfortune. I'll try. I'll break the curse. Anno chorus. And a chorus? An unfamiliar word. Could it be a frightening spell? Is Mitsuki trying to scare me? Yeah, probably. The atmosphere is favorable. A thunderstorm, lightning flashing, not a soul around. No one around. No, I'd better not think about it. Is Mitsuki waiting for a train, or is she hiding from the sudden thunderstorm like me? There's no one else at the station. It's better to listen to Mitsuki's strange speech than to be left all alone waiting for the rain. You know what? I'm gonna skip through here. Stop it. How do I skip here? Because it should be getting to a... Yeah, okay. So try to calm Mitsuki down again. Act. Don't be afraid. Mitsuki, are you alright? Of course she doesn't answer. Mitsuki leaves the station and fulfills her cherished wish. Saves the world from herself. I doubt I could help Mitsuki in this situation, but what if my attempts would have changed her fate? What if one word said in the right moments would have saved a human life? Mitsuki, I'm sorry I got scared. A pity that the memories can't be changed. I shouldn't have startled Mitsuki. No! And yeah, and then everything's just the same. Okay. Or you can talk to Dad. Oh. But let me see. So if we go into the memories here. So there's a bunch of question marks in each of these places that I can do again. Dad, are you really angry at me, or does the problem lie in something else? I lacked the courage to ask directly. I was going crazy with loneliness even though the closest person was just one floor below. Weird, stupid, illogical. Dad, let's talk. He doesn't answer. Memories aren't this generous. And then we just continue on, okay. Oh, and then it's the copyright claiming music. Okay, let's see. Memories. So we've gotten everything there. Okay, so let's go through here. Scary cold. Lonely. I'm alone, all alone. Mom, where are you, Mom? Where did you disappear to? What evil dragged you away? Why aren't you coming back? Don't leave me alone, please. Don't. Anybody. Anything but being alone. Alone, alone, alone. Okay, let's skip ahead. Oh, this weirdo. I forgot about this weirdo. Let's fight. I shouldn't sleep. It won't solve anything. The curse will... What if you're tired? It'll solve that. The curse won't disappear in the morning, for it's lurking inside me. The curse won't be lifted, for there is no curse. So I have to understand what's going on and definitely not sleep. Too bad I chickened out back then. Thank you, Tomo, for bringing me to my senses. And then we're back into the main route. And let's fight. To make a wish, what can be more simple? But not for me, fearing wishes more than anything else in the world. But running away is even more scary and foolish. You can't run away, falling back into a web of doubts and indecision. Be what may, at least I'll try. Perhaps something bad would happen, but there's always a chance that it would turn out to be something good. Going back into the room of misfortune is much worse. Is this what you wanted to show me, Tomo? Is this what you've been talking about? Alright, I understand. At long last, I understand. I'll try to risk it. Cut the mesh with the bolt cutter. Phew. The rusty bolt cutters are still hiding in the grass. Alright, Tomo, even if just a bit, I understand what you meant. But the most important thing is that I feel relieved, very much so. Doubts are very heavy and unpleasant. It's better to take a risk and discard them at once, or there will be nothing left afterward but a constant desire to sleep. I'm sick of it. I'll go to the end. Is this what you wanted, right, Tomo? Property damage? I want the same. To understand what's going on, to learn what I'd left in the cave, to finally break the curse of 3 misfortunes. Sometimes deciding to do something is scary, sometimes it's not worth it. But it's better to risk it than to carry the weight of misfortunes and eventually break. Like Mitsuki. With a slight snap, the mesh parts slightly to the sides. Even if I do have a real magical curse on me, Mitsuki's answers doesn't work for me. Together, Tomo and I will find another way. We'll be looking, going through the options. If the first, second, and third options don't work out, then we try 4th, 5th, and 6th. Let's go! It's done. I toss the bolt cutters into the grass and squeeze through the gap. The cave is dark and stuffy. It smells of something foul. Footsteps do not echo. Anna chorus rustles, humming a sinister tune. Forward, forward, into the dark. To the place where our wishes will come true. Forward, forward. To the place where misfortune started. Where they will end. This place is a dump. The gloomy tunnel is cut off by a sharp slope. A shallow pit reveals piles of debris illuminated by the dim glow of Anacorus. Broken wooden structures, sheds, crumpled bales of cloth, barrels, crates, long poles with flags attached to them, as if a powerful tornado has struck the nearby festival and carried all the trays here into the cave. A dump! The authorities promised to clear it after the Fall Fest and temporarily blocked it with a fence. Part of the pit is still free of junk. I take a few steps forward and freeze. Now I understand. A bit, but I understand. Also, I have tetanus now. The Fall Fest was taking place that day. All the locals had gathered at the temple, so the streets were completely empty. I was unlucky to get to the cave where they had set up the dump. I wanted to hide in the cave and wait out the storm. I mistook the rumble of fireworks for thunder. I'm very afraid of thunderstorms. I walk a little farther and squat down. 3 lols? What's wrong with me? 3 dolls are lying on the ground, my dear graces. innocent, gracious maidens. They were beautiful and flawless. That's how Mitsuki saw them. She wanted Haru, Natsumi, and Fuyumi to be strong, kind, and brave. True friends. So, strong, kind, and brave. I think that's what they are. I too wanted to see them like this. Something's not right, wrong, twisted and mixed up. Something doesn't fit. There in that fateful cave, this discrepancy shouts so loudly that it makes my ears pop. Oh, I realize it. I realize it and my world changes irrevocably. The picture in my memory becomes crisp and clear, clean of illusions and obsessions. I remember. I remember the right me. I remember the graces, the real graces. And realize why they look so much like the girls I couldn't have known before Tomo and I got into Mitsuki's memories. I'm waiting for the rescue, but no one is coming. The world outside is beginning to seem dangerous and unfriendly. Something bad happened to both my mom and my new friend Mitsuki. Something terrible, since they haven't come to help. Another clap of thunder frightens me. I rush deeper into the cave, but suddenly the ground has disappeared from under my feet. I choke on a scream, collapsing somewhere down. What? My leg hurts when I land. I hear a faint crunch in the silence. Ow. It's painful and scary, but fatigue outweighs all other feelings. My eyelids get very heavy and my mind gets foggy, and I fall into a deep, impenetrable, dreamless sleep. Cold wakes me up. I can't get the blanket over me as I used to, and I struggle to get my eyes open. So what we're saying is that she got her hair dyed before she got into the cave. Huh? I know that's not what happened, but where? Oh, my room has turned into a strange place filled with various junk. Tied bags, boxes, and empty bottles are lying everywhere. I spot several toys and get very excited, but then I quickly remember where I am. I remember that I'm lost, that mom isn't here, that my new friend hasn't helped. I like it when you aren't sad. You should smile more often. Yeah, remember how fucked up that was to ask people to smile more? Mom wanted me to smile as well. Strong people don't cry. Strong people try to deal with problems instead of crying. I'm strong. Firstly, I look around, but I see nothing except a solid wall of earth and a pile of junk. Is she carrying like a pot of plants? Oh no, that's just her shirt. I see, I fell into a pit. I fell into the pit. So I need to crawl out and get back to town in the sunlight. People go to work all the time in the morning, which means I will definitely run into someone at the station. Oh, but how? I don't see stairs or a ladder. How come? So no one was getting down into the pit? People were getting down in the pit. Strong people aren't afraid. An attempt to climb the earthen walls is unsuccessful. My fingers scrape painfully against the rocks. My leg has the worst of it. As soon as I try to lean on it, sharp pain pierces my body. Okay, if she didn't have tetanus before, she does have tetanus now.